very next morning, after flying my subscribers out to play on the Champions Club livestream, we gear up for my meetup game here in Houston. It's an exciting Sunday because everyone's pumped to play some Texas poker and watch the Super Bowl later on. Little did we know today was going to be one of my craziest meetup games ever, as we managed to flop a straight flush. Even better, my opponent continues to bet into me on the turn. You're not going to want to miss this, but even crazier, that wasn't even the wildest hand of the night. So you're going to want to stick around to the end of the video where I flop a set of 8s and play an almost $6,000 pot versus my subscriber Colby. We're jumping right into the action here at table 1, and these fun group of guys agreed to play the stand-up game. What's also fun is peeling ace jack of clubs, a welcome sight for our very first hand. For those of you who don't know what the stand-up game is, everyone stands up at the table and you get to sit down if you win a hand. Last person standing owes the table $25 a person. It definitely induces quite a bit of action because nobody wants to pay the penalty. We see a raise to $15 and 2 calls over to me. I have ace jack of clubs on the button and I make it $75 to go. Really want to go large here. Everyone's incentivized to put money in the middle. And just like that, we're getting ourselves 2 customers. We're off to a flop which comes 7-6-5 with 2 clubs. Action checks over to me. I have ace high with the nut club draw. Fire out for 125. We're going to get 1 fold and then a jam from Jackie. He rips it in for $800. I decide to put in the call here with my draw. I want to sit down as well. It's not fun standing up playing poker. And off to a run out we go. The turn comes a 4 of clubs followed by the 3 of hearts. Look at that. We're going to chop it up versus 7-3 of clubs.
I have it straight.
Little side note here. Jackie called $75 with 7-3 of clubs pre-flop. So you know the day is going to be pretty crazy when people are splashing around with those kind of hands. But hand 2, Jake raises the cutoff to $15. He is the owner and founder of Lucky Guard, who gave away those really cool card protectors in my last video. I put in the call and one other player does as well. Jack 7 of spades normally isn't a great hand, but in the stand-up game we're going to be playing a wide variety of cards. And the board comes king, jack, jack, bang, we flop trips. Jake continues for $50. I could fast play it here. A lot of draws out there to get value from, but I decide to put in the $50, see a safe turn card, and proceed from there. The turn is not safe. It comes the 10 of diamonds, and Jake now slows down and checks. In case he has any strong diamonds in his hand, I decide to go for a $75 bet here, get a little bit of value, and he pretty quickly puts in the call. The river's a disaster. It comes the ace of diamonds. Now I'm losing to any 1 diamond. Also, a queen would have me beat. My essentially the nuts on the flop has turned and rivered into a disaster type of hand. He checks, I check behind, and sure enough, he is going to win it with queen 6 of spades. What a bet on the flop. What a call on the turn. He's taking down that $300 pot. But I think, Jake, with plays like this, you're going to need to stick to making card protectors and not playing poker. LOL. Alright, I raise up jack 9 of clubs now from the hijack up to $30. We're going to get a few callers, 4 to be exact, which means we are going 5 ways to the flop, which comes ace 3 deuce with 2 clubs. Hopefully it's not a little bit more of the same when I flopped myself the flush draw against Jackie. I'm really hoping to see a club on the turn. The action checks over to me. I toss out 3 green chips, that's $75, and we get some immediate folds from the cutoff and button, which is nice because no matter what, we'll have position the rest of the way. Oz pretty quickly folds, and look at that, Thuck over there in the under the gun position is the last person to be able to take a stand, and he doesn't. He folds his cards. I turn over my flush draw, and I'm raking in a pot sitting down. We then find ourselves in an interesting spot. There's a raise to 15, and Colby, the action player from last night on the stream, was the biggest winner. He 3-bets to $45, comes back around to me with ace king off in the small blind. I want to go large here. I make it $125 to go. Colby puts in the call. He wasn't folding much yesterday. I don't think much has changed today, and we are going heads up out of position to a flop, which comes queen 10 deuce rainbow. I decide to go for a small bet here of $50, and Colby puts in the call, bringing in the turn, which comes the 7 of clubs. And now I decide to slow down and check. I have 2 overcards. I have a gutter to a straight. So when I check it over to Colby and he bets out for $20, I don't think we can go anywhere with all of that good stuff. I put in the call, and the river card comes another brick. I check it over to Colby once again, and now he decides to rip his entire stack in for $420, and it puts me in a weird spot. At the surface, I just have ace king high, so what am I really thinking about? but there's a lot of hands that I can beat, such as Jack 9, some other random draws, and let's not forget who our opponent is. It's Colby, so I'm definitely not snap folding this here with Ace King High. Really good combination of cards to put in a hero call. At the end of the day though, he jammed all in for 420. It's early on in the session, and I don't want to take a stand just yet, so I fold my cards, and we get shown the bad news as Colby has came to play in day 2 here with ace-6 offsuit from the button, putting in that 3-bet, calling my 4-bet, floating me a bunch of times, and then bluffing on the river. Nice hand, Colby. Hopefully I don't have to table change too soon so I can get some of those chips back from you. Unfortunately, our time here at table number 1 is up. We have to table change, but no worries, I'm always in seat number 2. They lock that up for me in the meetup games. We see a raise to 10 and 2 calls over to me on the button with king, queen of clubs. Gonna come in large here for my signature bet of Cinco de Mayo, $55. Robin, the initial raiser, puts in the call. Both other $10 callers find a fold. Off to a flop we go, which comes queen 8-4 with 2 hearts and 1 club. Robin checks it over to me, and with 130 in the middle, I decide to go for a $35 c-bet. Robin folds, we win, easy game. Next hand, ace-10 offsuit from the cutoff. We're gonna go multi-way to a flop, which comes king jack 8 with 2 clubs. I go for a c-bet and find myself a customer. That's Patrick from the stream yesterday as well. The turn gives me the nuts on the queen of hearts. Bang! Patrick checks, I overbet the turn, and he folds, so take it down a few small pots here back to back. Queen jack of spades here from the low jack. I make it 15, and Dylan, a vlog watcher on the button, makes it $50 to go. Obviously not going to be 4-betting here with queen jack of spades. I put in the call, and we see ourselves a flop, which comes none less than king 10-9. Bang, we flop a straight flush. Not very often you make a straight flush, let alone flop it, let alone in your own meetup game, so this is definitely a rare sight to see. I check it over to Dylan, he fires out for $30, could go for the check raise right away. Instead though, I decide just to put in the call, and the turn card comes a brick 5 of hearts. Gonna continue slow playing my hand with a check, and Dylan continues to bet for $75. Not exactly sure what he could have here. Hopefully it's a set of kings, 10s, king 10, maybe a hand that has the ace of spades in it, and we'd get into a massive cooler. I think the time is now to put more money in the middle. I don't want to just call here, check the river, and he checks behind, given the fact that I'm out of position against Dylan. So I decide to raise it up right now to $200. So if he has any sort of 2 pair sets or nut flush draws, I don't think he can go anywhere for 125 more. But it looks like he was just trying to bluff me for the vlog. He folds, I table the queen jack of spades.
Nobody do anything except call the fool. We got a high hit. We got a high hit. I don't know if that's
It's even better when it was against the frog.
yeah. Is there a promo? You know what? If I win a promo, I'll do it as a splash pot.
What's pretty crazy is that wasn't even the most interesting hand of the video. Stay tuned to the end of the video because we're going to play a massive hand against Colby the Maniac, and yeah, you don't want to miss that one. I'm trying to get active with ace-jack offsuit. There's a raise to 30 and a call. I put in the $30 as well, and we're going to get a few other customers off to a flop, which comes jack high. When the action checks to me, I fire out for Cinco de Mayo, $55, and Josh puts in the call from under the gun.
What time it is? Cinco de Mayo, baby.
The river card comes a brick. It's the 10 of clubs. He checks to me once again. I fire out large, and he finds the fold. We then pick up queen jack of diamonds from the small blind, make it $30 to go over a $6 button straddle. Josh calls once again, and we flop ourselves a7-4 with 2 diamonds. The action goes check, check. When the turn comes a queen of spades, I now have a pair. I fire out for $30, and Josh isn't going anywhere. In fact, he raises me to $60, and I put in the call. When the river card comes the 3 of diamonds, I check it over to him, but it looks like his min click on the turn is going to get him off cheap here. He checks behind. I table the queen jack of diamonds. That's going to beat his ace jack, $190 coming my way.
Sorry.
All right, we switched tables once again, table number 3. So many people came out and wanted to make the vlog. I look down at king 9 of hearts here and jump right into the knit game. You see that red button right in front of Mudkip there. Yeah, we're going to get active here with king 9 of hearts. I put in the call for $15, and off multi-way to a flop we go, which comes queen 4 deuce with 2 hearts. The action checks over to Andrew Voden, who fires out for $55. Could check raise here with my king high draw, but instead I decide just to put in the call. Off to the turn we go, which comes the 7 of spades. Not exactly the card I wanted to see, and the action goes check, check. Bringing in the Jack of Hearts on the river. Bang, we river a flush.
You know what time it is? Safe on mile, baby.
Such an hit.
Someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Oh.
We then play a double board PLO hand, and I pick up pocket sevens, flop a set on both boards, turn a boat, and we're gonna win a massive one. We then change tables for the last time of the night. Jake, one of my subscribers, orders a delicious filet mignon. The Super Bowl is about to start, so it's cool to see so many TVs in the room. And we switch tables for the last time of the night, bringing the stakes up to 5-5. I add on for $900 more.
Hey, let me get a little spin.
Ace King offsuit now from the big blind. There's a raise up to $20. Usually want to go 5 or 6x when you're out of position in the blinds. I make it 5x this time to $100, and the opponent puts in the call. Off to a flop we go, which comes 3 deuce deuce. I'm gonna have all the overpairs, so I fire out small for $75, and the opponent once again puts in the call. The turn comes the 8 of hearts. If I have aces and kings, want to keep blasting here. The board is pretty dry, and it's gonna be hard for 9s, 8s, 10s, jacks to hold on for 3 large bets. So I fire out for 425, and once again, Mo does not go anywhere to my overbet on this turn. A little bit concerning here. Could he have queens and get a little sticky? I'm blocking aces and kings, and more often, I think those are going to raise pre-flop. So when he calls here, I think at best he has pocket queens, most likely jacks, 10s, and 9s. When the river comes the 9 of clubs, not exactly the best card, but I think a small portion of the time he is folding 9s in the turn. So all in all, not the worst card in the world. There's $1,200, and I have to think about if he has queens or jacks, would he fold to a shove here? I think given the fact it's a meetup game, drinks are flowing, I'm filming, that does add a little bit extra incentive because people want to make the vlog. So I end up giving up here and check it over to Mo. He decides to go for a nice healthy bet here into the $1,200 pot. And now I'm in the tank. $800 is the price. I put in the call, there'll be $2,800 in the middle, but I just have ace king high. Is he getting me off a chop? No, he later tells me he has pocket queens. I don't think I was gonna get that to fold with a shove on the river. So my check and giving up, I think, was the best decision. But if you guys have any insight into how I could have played this hand better, definitely let me know down in the comments. After losing that hand against Mo, I go over to the cage, get my box, and add on for $9,000. Yes, the games are huge in Texas. $9,000 at 5-5 is an 1,800 big blind add-on. And yeah, I have the table covered. I just wanted to take a stand here and let people know that I got more chips they can take from me if they want to do so. Pocket 10s now from the button. We see a raise and a 3-bet. I decided to put in the call instead of 4-betting. I hadn't seen many 3-bets from this specific opponent, so I want to play this pretty passively in position, try to flop a set, and go from there. Of course, Colby isn't folding. We're going 4 ways to the flop, which comes Jack, Jack, 3, rainbow. The same opponent fires out for $150. I don't think I can go anywhere. I've underplayed my hand so far, so I put in the call, and we're going to go heads up to the turn. The turn comes the 4 of clubs, and the opponent now checks it over to myself. I think he's going to have a lot of ace-king, ace-queen high type hands, so I like a bet on this turn. Checking behind though and not seeing an ace-king or queen on the river would also be a decent situation, and sure enough, the river card comes the 6 of clubs. Let's not forget we have the 10 of clubs in my hand, blocking some of the flushes he could have. But when he checks it over to me for a 3rd time, I check behind just looking to get to a showdown. Sure enough, I'm good, and I rake in that $700 pot. Alright, the hand of the night, Colby makes it $15 to go. We got Jackie over there who 3-bets him to $50. I don't blame him. 3-betting the fish in position seems like a pretty good situation, huh, Jackie? But Wolfgang's here in the blinds with pocket ochos, and I put in the call. The player on my left calls as well, and Colby's not going anywhere. He 4-bets, though, to $225. Normally, 4-bets are pretty strong, but it's action Colby, and he definitely has a wide range, even when he's 4-betting. When Jackie puts in the call here, I'm definitely not going anywhere. When he was deciding what to do, I told myself in my head that if he folded, that I'd probably fold out of position against a 4-bet, but with Jackie calling, it makes it a little bit juicier for me to flop a set. The player on my left, Alex, Colby's friend, folds his cards. Off to a flop we go, and I know exactly what I want the dealer to put out there, and this board definitely is it. Ace 8-3, bang, we flop middle set. I mean, so much is going on here. Colby could easily have ace king, ace queen. This is a great board. He could have some flush draws as well. Maybe Jackie has pocket threes, although I don't know if he's 3-betting that pre-flop. Either way, I am not betting into both of these opponents. I check it over to Colby. Colby fires out for $350 and Jackie folds his cards. Looks like he might have been set mining as well, but only one of us has flopped a set in this one, and it's old Wolfgang here with pocket eights. Could be raising with the flush draw apparent, but instead I decide just to put in the call, see a safe turn card, and go from there. And the 3 of diamonds on the turn is definitely a safe card. We now turn ourselves a boat. Still gonna check in flow over to Colby. I'm not afraid of anything except for pocket aces. He definitely could have that, but there's $1,400 in the middle, and he goes for a nice healthy bet once again of $460. You guys watched the last video, which was the live stream. Colby made a little dig at me and said that I was playing scared against him.
He plays relatively like the videos, but tonight he played a little bit scared against me.
So of course, we're gonna have to go for the check raise now and let him eat some of his words. I'm gonna jam it in for 2160, which is the effective shove. And of course, I put all my 1,000 chips out there just to let him know that, yeah, we got a lot of chips behind over here.
What? What do you know?
Eventually, he does put in the call. We table our boat. A $5,700 pot is going to be shipped over my way. He doesn't show his cards, but he mentions ace king offsuit, so what a dream flop. Ace king versus pocket eights. A flip pre, we get it in good, and a $5,700 pot getting shipped over my way. What's that about playing scared, Colby? That $5,700 pot is going to conclude my meetup game here at Champions Club. If you guys live in the Houston area, I highly recommend checking out this room. They have plenty of high action cash games and tournaments. The food and drinks are always top notch, and you can even spend the night here at their connected hotel. As we rack up our chips and head over to the cage, we book a nice profit of $23.20. Not bad for a fun day's work. If you missed my last video where I flew out 7 lucky subscribers to battle my editor and I on the Champions Club livestream, I highly recommend you checking that out by clicking it here on the screen. Please also consider subscribing to the channel if you like the videos. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. As always, peace!